Mr. Messner.
Oh my God, Natalie, turn the lights off. What's the matter with you?
Sorry. I was just wondering if there are any plays you're considering this year.
Natalie, it's our first full day back. I haven't even had time to think about it yet. Now, why don't you just...
Well, are there any that you're considering? Because I would be happy to weigh in.
I'm sure that won't be necessary. When the time comes, I'll be perfectly capable of making my decision on my own.
Rumors, expectations to precondition people's ideas?
Natalie, you're overthinking the artistic integrity of the decision.
Well, if you're not going to tell me, can I at least guess? Arsenic and old lace. Importance of being earnest? Or, dare I hope, a female version of The Odd Couple?
Natalie, when I decide, you'll know. In the meantime, you have a class to get to. Run!
How bizarre is it that people don't like you?
I just talked to him, no word yet.
Did I look worried?
Okay, sarcastic questions. What are you two doing down here? Anyway, don't you have a class or something?
I have a free period.
I think I had orientation. But then who would draw nipples on all these diagrams?
We're alternating between turning them into boobs and ball sacks. What about you? What learning are you avoiding?
Mr. Messner canceled the theater class again. You know, I think that he just doesn't want to see me any more than he already has to.
Natalie. Yeah, that's probably it.
Okay, well, you two have fun. I'm gonna find Chris and Lauren and let them know.
I'm sure they'll appreciate this up-to-the-minute coverage of this late-breaking story.
Maybe you should blog about it.
If you're looking for the teacher's lounge, you might want to settle in for a couple days before you start giving your freshmen directions. They don't need another excuse to be late for class.
Natalie Pagonis almost had me cornered.
That girl left me 3 voicemails asking if you had turned in the race request for this year's theater production. The first one was in July. Take a seat.
This chair is lower than I remember.
Yeah, the seniors are getting taller. I had Jim shorten the legs. So how was your summer?
Not bad, actually. I finally made it down to Ashland to the Shakespeare Festival. It was
You
good,
know,
but the cost...
we need to talk about this year's drama department budget.
All right, let's hear it.
Well, as you may be aware, the school board has had to do some rather drastic measures to cut costs this year.
Yeah, I was wondering why the jumbo Kit Kats were up to $5 now.
Those chocolate and wafer concoctions are what are keeping paychecks coming. The alternative would be layoffs, and we don't want to be that drastic.
Well, no, of course not.
So this won't be so painful. You do have the theater reserved for the whole semester, and the production's done right after finals, before winter break, and here is your figures.
You have to be kidding.
Mr. Messner, please try to understand we're all tightening our belts.
Well, what belt tightening is the football team doing?
Well, for your information, they're reusing their practice uniforms. And you know the difference between football and you? Football sells tickets.
You can't expect the school play to bring in the same revenue as an entire season of football.
I know that, but the truth of the matter is football pays for itself. They don't even really have to take a cut. The coaches agreed to put some of the money they made last year into the school, and it's because of their generosity that you have a number in your hand at all. It's hard for me to put money into a program that contributes so little.
You don't think theater contributes?
Well, when a small group auditions and another small group attends, which happens to be the same ones every year, you can see why it's hard for me to justify this to the parents.
Well, what do you suggest I do, Janet? Cancel the show and, I don't know, sell tickets to weekly viewings of Dancing with the Stars?
Of course not. A beloved show like that, the broadcasting rights must be astronomical. But you have options. Your shows are always really good. But last year, how did the play end?
Our town? The protagonist dies in childbirth.
And before that, The Crucible?
Several innocent people are hanged for witchcraft, but you completely skip Noises Off, one of the funniest comedies ever.
A comedy about actors screwing up their lines. I'm sure it's very funny if you understand theater, but most people don't understand theater, and they're not going to get excited about coming to a show they don't understand. You have to bring people in. Have you ever thought of doing a musical?
On this budget? Do you have any idea how much more expensive... I mean, the sheet music alone...
Do whatever you have to do. But just be aware that the budget problems aren't going to go away. And if ticket sales don't increase this year, I'm not sure I can give you the same amount next year.
All right. Let's say I do manage to increase ticket sales. What can I expect in return?
Well, if I have evidence that the theater department is bringing positive attention to the school, that'd be grounds for me to go to the PTA and ask them to earmark all ticket sales from this year to next and possibly match it dollar for dollar out of the private fund.
All right. It's a deal.
It's not a deal. I said might. Might. It's not a deal. Sharon? Yeah, it's me. Listen, guess who just walked into my office unannounced? No, guess again. No, guess again. No, it's nobody from Grimm. I don't even know. I haven't even seen that show. Can you, oh, I know. Yeah, well, you can scratch him off your list. And I have to speak to photography, newspaper, AV colored photography. Yeah. Okay, that's going to be tough. I already hate today. Listen, could you get me one of those Kit Kats? You have the keys, right? Well, could you just, I don't have change for a 20. So could you just get that? What is the big deal? Can't you just, oh, Sharon, I'm going to have to call you back. Madame Chevalier.
Chevalier.
Chevrolet.
Chevalier.
Joan, please just come in and have a seat.
You wanted to speak to me about the budget for the
Yes,
chess team?
I did. Please shut the door behind you.